The 22nd of November, 11:38 a.m., Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants, Antechamber 5. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Yeah. Miss Jesseline Bretz, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There's a young woman with him. Like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up, bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. To avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study toward Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, you said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't you? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMI. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I bet there's a bit of guilt on his conscience. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're going up against. A gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, what of her? Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you! Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. That's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed in me, then honestly I wouldn't have believed in me either. I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. He's willing to nuke his life if my life gets nuked. Mutually assured destruction. Yeah. Best of friends, just like the US and USSR. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. 22nd of November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom 2. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Yachi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling from the prosecution, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry? Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation flounders? Founders? Sure, it must be flounders. Did I find a typo in this game? Oh, man.
Again. Terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I thought this was a courtroom, not a political debate. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume, with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giseline Britt.
Yes. Your Excellency.
Well, who have we here? Oh. Is that a swan hat?
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. Is that true? No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival for...
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did. Didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman? Man, everyone's hitting on the female witness. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty?
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
Oh. Oh. Right, yeah. She's speaking English, is that why we don't understand it? Does anyone here know what she's saying?
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
I wish I knew what they were actually saying. The lady says her name is Jezebel Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in my university's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? No, you've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. I didn't understand a word she said either. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? This is not going to get old. She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese? I guess she probably understood that question. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She said that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom, or the very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Order in the courts.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Okay. Witness testimony. Here we go. A frightening and sorrowful sight. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. Okay. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprits. Is that so? Looks like there'd be a lot of room in that outfit there to hide one, perhaps. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all. We call them debates.
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
I have faith that you'll believe in what the evidence has to say. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today.
Okay, are you telling me there's nowhere in that whole outfit to hide just a little pistol? Nowhere that could possibly fit. What about that massive hat? People don't wear hats like that just for the fun of it. There's something sinister going on with the hat. Mark my words.
As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal fire.
Really? That's what we're going with. Massive hat, huge billowing dress. Nowhere? Who knows, maybe? And I won't go there, but I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Thank you, Ryunosuke. Thank you. Someone has common sense in this courtroom, at least. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. Okay, let's bring the TSA in. Let's do a pat down. Let's find the place then, alright? Is that an invasion of privacy? Yes. But on the other hand, my innocence and, potential, who knows, life could be on the line here, so, let's go with it.
There are no pockets in my outfit, so I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter.
Ah, that's ridiculous. If I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it.
Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke.
But I didn't fire the gun, I picked it up. There must have been another gun there that day. There must have.
You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now.
Alright, how about this? Let's provide her an outfit. She can go get changed into the new outfit, and then we, the court, will examine her current outfits to see if there were, in fact, any places she could have hidden a gun. Sound good to me? This sounds reasonable to me.
And to do so, we'll need to pull her testimony apart.
What's that smirk about? The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Okay. We'll start by pressing her. I'd arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. Did you now? After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it? You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right? No. No.
A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. On the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier.
That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late.
Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak.
A beefsteak, you say? Why didn't you order pork? It's just as delicious and often cheaper. He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hot Clinic, correct?
That's right.
You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering.
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so. Yes, she had heard that the professor was to have some dental treatments. So that would mean
that it was you who had the stake pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett?
That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events.
Exactly as it was left.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
Archie, go find the armory, because you gotta take off that white knighting attire right now. Alright? Get your head in the game, man. I know she's pretty, but, you know, this is court of law. This is supposed to be a battle of wits, not a battle of looks.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water.
Just water?
Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each.
They each raised a glass of carbonated water.
What do you think, Ryusuke? I thought it is his last statement.
It is quite meaningful. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing?
Hydration is important?
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Wait, her mask has facial expressions.
Gladly, she said.
That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one.
Which one?
The significance will become apparent when the time is right? I could really use that phrase.
I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryusuke.